Okay, good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday. My name is Joy. We're gonna get started. It's 9:31, so we're gonna get started. Let's come into a child's pose if you're ready to get there. Knees can be wide. We'll bring the big toes together. Hi, good morning. Walking the hands out, allowing the forehead to rest on the earth, just coming in right here, settling into your space. So today, Wednesday morning, we've got a 60-minute journey into power class. Again, my name is Joy. I'm going to be teaching it this morning. Most importantly, listen to your body. Good morning. Listen to your breath. I will be guiding you, but really allow that breath to guide you. At any time, if anything's not feeling good in your body, don't do it. Skip it. Maybe move into a better position, something that suits you a little bit more. As we settle into this pose, child's pose, start to tune into the breath. Noticing your inhales, noticing your exhales. Maybe slowing them down just a bit. Feeling the mat beneath you. Feeling the air around you, the heat. If you like to practice with an intention, please take a moment to set an intention right here for your practice. Once you've got something, take a deep breath in through the nose, fill up, and then open mouth, sigh it out. Beautiful. Let's take one more of those. Big, deep inhale to the nose, fill up, open mouth, let it go. Okay, let's get moving, you guys. When you're ready, press into downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Lifting the hips up, maybe pedaling the feet out right here. Noticing the backs of the legs, the shoulders, the spine. Walk it out. Maybe stillness is what you need. Bring the gaze in between your hands. Take a nice deep bend in the knees. Take little steps all the way up to meet the hands. Forward folds. As you find forward fold, maybe ragdoll, grabbing opposite hand, opposite elbow. Dropping that head down. Maybe sway it out right here. What feels good? If you're holding onto those elbows, you might switch your grip right here. Let go of your elbows, root down through your feet, so press into the earth, and then inhale to lift all the way up, mountain pose. Lift the hands up, and then exhale, bring the hands down through heart center, and then let the hands come to the sides. Okay. Big inhale, reach the hands up, grow tall, and exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, pull the shoulders back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, send the feet back to high plank. Good morning. Lower chaturanga, knees or not. Inhale to that back bend. Yeah, beautiful, you guys. Exhale, downward facing dog. That is our vinyasa. We're gonna move through some sun A's to keep building heat. So as you're ready, gaze in between the hands, bend the knees, travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale brings you all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, take that vinyasa. Gaze in between those hands. Bend the knees, travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands. Take your vinyasa. Really linking your breath to your movement. Let's take one more sun A. Gaze in between your hands, bend your knees, travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, vinyasa. Pausing in downward facing dog this time. Let's take a couple breaths right here. Maybe you've built a little bit of heat. Take note of that. Gaze in between the hands, bend the knees, lift the heels, travel forward. We're gonna sit right down into chair. So feet at 12 o'clock, maybe hip distance, maybe together. Knees are bent, hands are lifted, or maybe at heart center. Keeping the weight in the heels, first chair, wake up the legs. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, take your vinyasa. Down dog, step your right foot forward, let your left heel come down. We're gonna inhale and lift up to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Take a moment, find your pose here. Hips are squared forward, hands are up or at heart center. Breathing, beautiful you guys. Touch your hands down, step that foot back, vinyasa or down dog. Switching sides, we'll pull the left foot forward, the right heel comes down. We're gonna inhale to lift up to our Virabhadrasana 1. Touch the hands down, vinyasa. Down dog, gaze in between your hands, bend your knees, travel forward, sit down right into that chair. Yes, lift up. Maybe this time all 10 toes lift from the earth. Maybe you sit a little bit lower. Big inhale, fill up. Big exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, vinyasa. Coming back for that Warrior 1, right foot's gonna come forward, left heel comes down, Warrior 1. Touch the hands down, vinyasa. Left side, left foot comes forward, right heel comes down, Warrior 1. Beautiful. Touch the hands down, vinyasa. Let's move through these next ones a little bit faster. Remember, stay with your breath. Gaze in between the hands, bend the knees, travel forward, chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, vinyasa. Right into that Warrior 1, step whichever foot forward, back heel comes down, Warrior 1. Exhale, touch the hands down, vinyasa. Right into the other side. Let your breath guide you. Beautiful. We'll take one more sun B. So from that downward facing dog, bring the gaze forward, travel, chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, exhale, halfway lift, exhale, vinyasa. Right into your Warrior 1. Beautiful. We will all meet in that downward facing dog. Notice your down dog. If you need a child's pose, take it. Notice where you are right here, right now. Feel the body, feel the breath. We're gonna lift the right leg up. Flex the right foot. We're gonna bend into the knee, open the hip to the right side of the room. Maybe you gaze underneath your left armpit, maybe you see that foot. Right armpit, sorry guys. Might be kind of hard to see your foot that way. Stay here or flip your dog, landing lightly. If you flip your dog, press into the earth, lift the hips up, let the heart open. Flip dogs, come back, three-legged dog, we'll to downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank. Right hand stays planted, left arm lifts up, side plank. What feels good here? You can bring the bottom knee down, forearm, maybe you lift that top leg up. Explore this. Vinyasa, let it go. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Flex the foot, bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe look under that armpit, see if you can see the foot. Maybe stay as you are, maybe flip your dog. Yes. Flip dogs, come on back. Everybody come to down dog and then shift forward to plank. We're gonna find side plank on the opposite side. Discover what feels good right here. Stay with the breath. And vinyasa, let it go. Okay, I hope we're feeling awake. That's where we should be. It's okay if you're not, though. Everybody lift the right leg up. Stay right here. Inhale, knee to nose, shoulders come over the wrist. Exhale, extend. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, extend. Inhale, hug that knee to nose, and then step the foot in between your hands. We're coming for high lunge. So that back heel is gonna stay lifted. Lift the chest as you're ready. Shoulders will come over the hips. Hands can be at heart center, and maybe they're lifted. Beautiful. Stay here. If you want to bring that back knee down, bring it down. Do what feels good today. We're going to twist to the signs, to the walls. Beautiful. Hands come to heart center. Press to the hands. Lift the chest. Gaze is up if that feels good. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we're going to open up to warrior two. So spiral open. Back heel comes down. Take a moment to check in right here. Find your alignment. Set your gaze. Right palm flips up. Reach it forward and back for a peaceful warrior. Come back to warrior two, and then take it to your extended side angle. Stay with the bend in that front knee. Stay with your gaze. Stay with your breath. Vinyasa. Touch your hands down. Step your foot back. Left leg lifts up. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, extend. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, extend. Inhale, hug your knee to nose. Step the foot through. High lunge. So right heel stays lifted. Find your high lunge. Breathe into it. Hands come to heart center and twist to the windows. Big inhale, big exhale. We're going to open up Virabhadrasana 2. Setting your gaze, finding your pose. Left palm flips up, reach it forward and back, peaceful warrior. Warrior 2, take into your extended side angle. Vinyasa, or downward facing dog. Take a few breaths right here. Notice this breath. We're gonna bring the gaze in between our hands, bend your knees, let's travel forward. Take an inhale to halfway lift, exhale to fold. We're gonna heel toe our feet about as wide as our mat. Turn your toes out to about 45 degrees and then sit the hips down to Malasana, yogi squat. We'll think about bringing the heart, our thumbs to our heart center right here, pressing into our legs, getting the hips open. Find a nice flat back. Your gaze can be up or maybe your eyes are closed off. We're all breathing. Plant your hands, lift your hips up, bring the feet back together just a bit. We're gonna take our entire hands and bring them underneath our foot, palm facing up, standing on our hands. Check in with your head right here, drop the head down, relax the neck. Beautiful. Remove those hands from underneath your feet. Take an inhale, halfway lift, pull the shoulders back. Exhale to fold. And then let's bring those feet back wide. Let's come back to our Malasana. Sit the hips down. If crow is where you'd rather be, find your crow. We're gonna stay for a few more breaths. Yes. Crow, what feels good here? You can shoot it back and take a vinyasa. Maybe you come back to Malasana. Maybe, yeah. Malasana, plant your hands, lift the hips up, forward folds. Bring the feet back together underneath the hips. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. As you have your big toes, start to bend into the elbows, pull the chest down. Belly should be hanging out on top of those thighs right here. Let go of your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Bring the gaze in between your hands, bend your knees, travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands come up, palms down through heart center, and then let them come to the sides. Equanimity. So balancing is where we're going. Take a moment, grab water if you need water. If you don't, take a moment to ground down through the feet. Maybe lift all 10 toes and bring them back into the earth. Start to stack your joints. Come back to that breath. Okay. Eagle pose is where we're going first. Big inhale, reach the arms open to V. Right elbow. It's okay. Find your eagle. Let's switch sides. That's awesome. Come out of this. Arms open, left elbow comes underneath this time. Left leg comes up and over. And let's come out of that. Let it go. Let's come back to that right side. So arms sweep back open, right elbow comes underneath. Sit back to the left side. Left elbow comes underneath the right. Left leg comes up and over. and then let it go. Okay, hands can come down right here, wherever we are. We are gonna take the weight into our left foot, and we're gonna lift our right leg off the earth. Maybe you start with just the heel, eventually pulling it up as you're ready. Beautiful. We can stay right here. We can bring our hand to our big toe, our peace fingers again. Maybe you bring your hand to the inside of your thigh. If you have your toe, extend the leg out. Yeah. And now let's all open the hip. Switch your gaze over to the windows if that feels good. Come back through center. Rebend into the knee if you have the foot. We're gonna bring our hands to heart center, and then we're gonna kick that right foot all the way back to warrior three. Hands can do what feels good here. They can stay at heart center. Maybe they grow forward. Maybe they're by the sides. Find balance on that leg. It's okay if we fall out. We'll find it again. Ardha Chandrasana is where we're going. So we're gonna bring our left hand down to the earth. Our right foot's gonna flex. We're gonna kick our heel up, and then as you're ready, the right arm will lift. A block underneath that left hand is amazing right here if you have one. Breathing, balancing. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Hands come to heart center and then down by your sides. Let's do our other side. So finding balance in that right foot, maybe lift the left heel up. Maybe lift the knee in line with the hip, keeping the foot flexed. We'll set it up the same way, peace fingers, maybe to the big toe. Maybe we'll bring our hand to the knee or thigh. Extending that leg out as we're ready. And then opening the hip. Switching the gaze if that feels good. Beautiful. Make your way back through center. Rebend into the knee. Warrior three is where we're going. I like hands at heart center. What feels good for you? Half moon, when you're ready, right hand comes down to the earth, maybe underneath the shoulder. Let that left hip open, flex the foot, kick the heel up, open the arm as you're ready. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale the palms through heart center and then to the sides. How are we feeling, everybody? Good, good. We're gonna move into dancer pose next. We'll take one set of dancers. So we're gonna bring our right hand to the right side, palm will be up. We're gonna kick our right foot back and grab the inside of our foot, maybe our ankle. Left arm will lift up as you're ready. You can stay just as you are, working with your balance, or maybe you kick that foot into your hand and start to reach forward, finding your dancer. Stay with that gaze, stay with the breath. And let's switch sides. Slowly come out. Left side, left hand over, left foot back, grab the inside of the foot, maybe the ankle. Go where you want to be. Kick the foot into the hand, reach forward. Let it go. Beautiful. Okay, last little bit of balancing we're gonna do is tree pose. And tree pose I love because we can do it your way. There's so many options for tree. So whichever foot you wanna do first is perfect. I'm gonna do my right foot. You can bring it to your left ankle. Maybe you just cross it. Maybe it comes to your calf. We'll keep it off the knee. Maybe you pull it into that thigh, maybe the hip crease. What feels good? Maybe you try a few different things. Hands are gonna do what feels good too. Maybe they stay at heart center. Maybe they grow. Maybe they bind. Maybe you fall out and find it again. If this is feeling super good, maybe you close your eyes off. Maybe you switch your drishti. Yes. And let's switch sides. Tree to the other foot. It could be the same, it could be different. What feels good here? Yes. And let it go. Both feet come onto the earth. Big inhale, reach up. Big exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, down dog or vinyasa. Notice this downward facing dog. Notice your body, notice your breath. Notice the heat, maybe the sweat. We're gonna come into triangle on the right side. So right foot will come forward toward that right hand. Left heel will come down, setting up triangle pose. So our left arm will lift up. Our right arm will stay down. Maybe you have a block underneath that right hand. We're gonna get that front leg pretty straight. So we'll lift the chest up, yeah. Your gaze might be up toward that hand. Maybe it's toward the windows or down. What feels good on the neck? Check in with that left hand, spread the fingers, reach. Wide-legged forward fold when you're ready. So a wide-legged forward fold to the windows. Just walk the hands over to about the middle of your mat. Maybe you bring the toes in just slightly, heels out. Dropping the head down. Opening up through the backs of the legs right here. Start to walk your hands onto your hips. Pull the elbows together behind you. Use the core to lift the chest all the way up. As we come all the way up, we're gonna turn our toes forward. So right foot turns forward. Left foot's gonna come in just a bit to turn forward. We're gonna get the hips squared to the front of the room. And then we're gonna come into our pyramid pose right here. So hands can stay on hips. They might come behind you. You might do prayer, just bring the fists together. We'll start to fold toward that right leg. Trying to keep our hips even, our shoulders even. Maybe the hands come down to the earth if that's where you'd like them. Pulling your right hip back, pressing your left hip forward. Let's twist it out right here. If you have a block, another great opportunity. Left hand's gonna come down to the earth or a block, maybe a water bottle. Right arm lifts all the way up. The gaze might go up if that feels good. Touch that hand down, step your feet back, down dog or vinyasa. Moving to our triangle pose on the other side. So left foot's gonna come forward, right heel comes down. Find your footing and then start to find your triangle, opening up. Left hand stays down, right arm lifts up. Set your gaze. Take it to your wide-legged forward fold. So walk the hands through center, turn that toe in, drop your head down. We'll be here for a few breaths, so let's find what feels good here. Maybe you just want to fold. Maybe you want to take a twist. Maybe you want to invert yourself. Maybe you want to do something I didn't say. Go for it. Beautiful. When we're ready to come out, slowly come back to that wide-legged forward folds wherever you went. And then walk the hands onto your hips again. Let's come all the way up. Squeeze the elbows together, use the core lift. We're gonna come back to that pyramid. So turn all 10 toes to face the front of the room. Hips are squared. Hands go where it feels good. Folding toward that left leg as you're ready. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Breathing right here. Finding our twist. So right hand's gonna come down to the earth or a block, and then we'll peel the left side body open, opening it up to the windows. Touch your hands down, step your feet back, vinyasa, or downward facing dog. Pausing in this downward facing dog. Okay, downward facing dog. We're all gonna shift forward to a plank pose. Knees can be up or down. Gaze is down, belly button is pulled toward the spine. Our core is working super strong right here. We're breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come down. All the way to the bellies. We're moving towards our igniting part of the series. So we're gonna do some back bending here. We're gonna start with locust pose first. So we're gonna take the hands to the side body, palms facing down, or maybe they interlace behind your low back. We're gonna press the tops of the feet into the earth, take a big inhale, and then we're gonna exhale, lift everything off the ground, bouncing on your pelvis. And let it go. Let one cheek come to the earth. Locust pose number 2. Set it up, maybe it's different, maybe it's the same. We'll take a big inhale. As we exhale, everything's gonna lift off the earth. Balancing once again on our pelvis. Yeah, keep lifting, get those heels up, keep reaching the hands back toward the feet. And let it go. Let the opposite cheek come down to the earth. Floor bow pose. We're gonna bend into both of our knees. Reach back, grab a hold of the tops of your feet, maybe your ankles. As you've got a hold of that, we're gonna kick those feet into our hands and lift up. Keep kicking, keep lifting, keep breathing. Drawing knees together. The breath gets a little bit harder right here, it's okay. Keep breathing and let it go. Let go of the feet. We're gonna walk the hands underneath the shoulders. We're gonna press into a tabletop here. So just lift the chest up, come to your knees. We're gonna walk, let's take a couple cat-cows. So hands underneath the shoulders, hips underneath, hips on top of the knees. Inhale, drop your belly, pull your chest through. Exhale, round the spine up. Take a few rounds. Yeah. And then as you're ready, we're gonna meet standing on our shins. We're gonna come into camel pose, Ustrasana. So knees are gonna be about hip distance, maybe a little bit wider. Toes can be tucked or untucked. We're just gonna take one today. So we'll all walk our hands to our low back, hug the elbows together, and then gently press the hips forward. allowing the gaze to come up toward the ceiling. If you'd like to take your camel further, take it further. Maybe walk the hands all the way back toward the hills. Keep actively pressing those hips forward. Maybe the head drops all the way back and the chin comes up and you open up through your throat. Beautiful. When you are ready to come out, very carefully, mindfully lift back up. You might come to sit down on your heels. Eyes might close off. Let's take a few breaths. If you want a child's pose, take a child's pose. Notice this energy flowing through your body. Come back to that intention if you set one. As you're ready, let's come onto our backs. We'll take the legs over to one side, and then in front of us, we'll come all the way down. Welcome to our backs. Let's bend into those knees, bring the heels nice and close to your glutes. We're gonna set up for a bridge pose. So heels come close, make sure you can feel them. Feet again are at 12 o'clock, about hip distance. Press into your feet, lift your hips off the earth as you're ready. Maybe a block comes underneath your low back, or maybe you just press. Yeah. Allow the hips to come back down. Okay, we're coming into wheel here. So if you have a wheel in your practice, that's where we're going. If not, please feel free to stick with bridge. We're gonna come into 5 today. So I'm not gonna cue them, we're just gonna do them because I know you guys can. So 5 wheels, 5 bridges, maybe you mix it up, maybe you don't. Go for it when you're ready. We'll press up and then lift. Take them as you want, come out, and then we'll press right back into it. I'm not gonna count them, but I'm gonna trust that you guys are gonna do them. Yeah. When you are finished, we'll meet in a Supta Baddha Konasana. The soles of the feet will come together and the knees will open up wide. Take your time to get there. Eyes can be open, eyes can be closed, yes. Five back bends in a row is a lot. Notice that right here. Finding that steady breath. Happy baby, if you would like it. Right here, bring the knees together, grab onto the outside or inside edges of the feet, maybe the ankles or calves. Maybe you want some movement and you play with rocking around, straightening one leg and then the other. Maybe you want stillness. We'll all let go of those happy baby feet. Let's all kick our feet up toward the ceiling. We're gonna bring our hands to interlace behind the back of our head. We're gonna do some core here. So we're gonna draw the elbows in. Let's work towards upper abdominals first. We're gonna take little pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg's gonna hover off the earth or you'll bring the foot down and bend the knee. Let's crunch again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch your legs and crunch again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both feet come back up, head comes down. We're gonna bring the hands by the side body. You might tuck them underneath or grab onto your edges of your mat. Both feet are flexed. You might have a gentle bend in the knees, but we're gonna lower those heels 1/3 of the way down. 2/3. Hover those heels off the earth and lift them all the way back up. Let's do that again. Lower the heels 1/3 of the way down. 2/3. Hover and lift them back up. Here it is, last time, you've got it. Lower the heels 1/3 of the way down. 2/3. Hover. Look at your feet. Kick your feet for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. How's our core doing? Do we feel it? I hope so. Okay, because we've got a little bit more. We're coming into Navasana next. Everybody bring your knees to your chest, rock and roll, meet in Navasana. Come all the way up. Find your sit bones. Hands can come to the backs of the legs. Feet might stay down. They might come up. We've got it. If you want to lift the arms, lift the arms. We're staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Let it go. Good work, you guys. Okay, we're gonna come into pigeon pose next. If you wanna go to downward facing dog, go to downward facing dog. If you wanna just get into your pigeon, get into your pigeon. You might take pigeon on your back. You might not. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, wave me over and I will come help you. If something's not feeling quite right here, wave me over and we'll talk about it. Okay, let's switch sides. So walking the hands in, lifting your chest up. If you'd like to go back to that down dog and maybe shake your leg out, walk your dog out, go for it. If you just want to roll over and switch sides, go for it. Set up the same way. Take your time. Again, if something's not feeling right, please wave me over. I will come over and we'll talk about what's going on. One side might be a little bit different than the other. start to walk your hands in, beginning to lift your chest up, slowly coming out of this. We can either come back to our downward facing dog or we can come to a seat. Take your time, do what you need to in between sides again. Noticing the hips right here. As you are ready, let's take a forward fold. So find your sit bones if you need to. Feet are going to be flexed, knees can be bent, or they might be pretty straight. Let's lift our arms up for the nice front foot. Close by. Exhale, fold over the legs. Start to lift the chest up. Coming all the way up, let go of the legs. Stack the shoulders over the hips. Bend the knees. Take the feet about as wide as your mat. Maybe a little bit wider. Hands can come to give you some support. Just take the knees a couple times back and forth. As you're ready, we're going to take our legs wide. Coming off the mat, feet are still going to be flexed again. Maybe gentle bend into the knees. We can stay exactly like this, or maybe you walk the hands out, folding in between the legs, finding what's comfortable for you. Starting to walk the hands back in, lift the chest up. And then right here, we're gonna bring the legs together. We're gonna plant our feet onto the earth about hip distance, walking the hands behind us, fingertips point toward the body. Reverse tabletop as you're ready. Press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips up. Head can stay neutral or it might drop back. Allow the hips to come back down. Take the feet a little bit wider. Let's windshield wiper those knees one more time, going left to right. Perfect. As we're ready, we're going to come into our fish pose. So extend the legs out, point the toes, walk the hands right behind the back body underneath you. Coming down to your forearms. Pressing into your forearms, lift the chest up, let the collarbones expand, and then start to drop the head back. Chin points up toward the ceiling, again opening up through that throat. Slowly start to come out of your fish. We'll come down flat to our back. So if you have a block underneath you, remove your block. We'll bring our knees into our chest. Give our legs a bit of a hug right here. Maybe you rock a little bit from right to left, pressing the low back into the earth. And then from here, cross your ankles, bring the hands behind the backs of the knees. We're gonna come up one more time, so get some momentum to come up, and we'll come back to that comfortable seat. We've stretched our legs pretty well. We're gonna come into a double pigeon next. So it's a little bit different than how it's usually taught, but we're gonna do a double pigeon here instead. So let's bring the right leg underneath, flex the right foot, and then our left leg's gonna come on top. So we're gonna stack our left shin over our right shin. Trying to keep both feet flexed. I like to bring my hands onto the earth and lift my hips up and then sit back down. If you have a block and you have space right here, you might place a block in between that space. If you'd like to walk the hands forward and fold over the legs, you might go there. Do what feels good in your hips. If you are folded over those legs, slowly start to lift up. We're gonna switch sides. You might take the legs and shake them out, and then this time left foot comes underneath, right leg comes over, trying to stack the right shin right on top of the left. Flexing both your feet here, keeping your legs active. Remember, maybe you press into the earth and lift the sit bones up and then sit them back down. If you are slightly uncomfortable, maybe very uncomfortable in this pose, you're not alone. It's okay. If we're folded over those legs, let's start to come out of this. Take your time, maybe shake the legs out. We'll make our way back onto our backs as you're ready. As we come onto our backs, we're gonna set up for our inversion. So we've got a few different options. You might just kick your legs up for legs up the wall. You might take a block and bring it underneath your low back and kick your legs up for legs up a wall. Maybe shoulder stand, if you'd like to find a shoulder stand, lifting the hips off the earth. If you have a different inversion that you'd like to practice, please feel free to go there. Taking the next few moments, lifting the legs up, letting the energy flow down, breathing. For these beautiful toes, Brian. If you are in a shoulder stand and you'd like to go to plow, feel free to let those toes fall over your head. If you are in legs up the wall and need some movement, go for it. Maybe you point and flex the feet, circling the ankles. Maybe you open the legs wide. Maybe you want some more stillness. If you are in plow pose, slowly start to make your way back onto your back very carefully. Legs up the wall, very carefully, slowly let those legs come down, feet will plant. And then if you have a block underneath, you will remove that block. And then right here, we're gonna bring our knees back into our chest. Give yourself a squeeze, and then let the knees come over to the right side of your space. And then maybe take the gaze to the left. A supine twist. Begin to switch sides of your supine twist. Knees come back up and then to the other side. Taking your gaze away from your legs. Coming back onto our backs. And we'll revisit that Supta Baddha Konasana. So we'll bring the soles of the feet back together, let the knees open wide. The heels can be closer away from the body. Hands can be wherever feels good. Taking a few breaths right here. As you are ready to move into your Shavasana, begin to move into your Shavasana, extending the legs out nice and long, taking up space. Allowing the body to get heavy. Allowing the breath to do what feels good. Allowing the breath just to get a little bit deeper right here. Adding gentle movements back into the body, maybe moving the fingers or the toes. You might gently rock your head from left to right. You might bend into your elbows and circle out your wrist. Maybe reaching your hands overhead, stretching out nice and long through your body, finding that big good morning stretch. Eventually pulling your knees back into your chest, you might roll over to whichever side you prefer, using your arm as a pillow. Taking your time as you are ready, we'll meet in a comfortable seat to close out our practice. Finding our sit bones, getting a nice long spine. Let's take a big inhale, reach the hands up and overhead. Big exhale, hands come down through heart center, pausing right there. Chin comes slightly toward the chest. Take a moment. Give yourself gratitude for showing up, moving your body, doing your practice. Thank you so much for sharing that practice with me today. We'll bring the knuckles of our thumb to our third eye center. And together, we bow and say, Namaste.